Next topic is brought to us by FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. And right now, new customers can bet just $5 and they get $300 in bonus bets if that first $5 bet wins. You heard me right. Place a $5 bet as a new customer. If it wins, you get $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com/UCSS to download the FanDuel app today and get started. So yesterday at the end of the show, we played you that quote from Mike Tomlin where he directly called out Andrew Berry. He was asked a question about the Joe Flacco trade. If you missed it, it's 360, Steve. Here's what Mike Tomlin had to say.
Yeah.
To be honest, it was shocking to me. Andrew Berry must be a lot smarter than me or us because it doesn't make sense to me to trade a quarterback that you think enough of to make your opening day starter to a division opponent that's hurting in that area. But that's just my personal feelings.
Mike, before we go back, do we have Tyvus react to that? Because we didn't get a chance. Okay.
I will give him 1 sec.
Yeah.
And Kevin Stefanski was asked about that quote.
Yeah, I heard it, yeah.
This is what Kevin Stefanski said in response to what Mike Tomlin said. And I quote, "I don't have a comment on that." End quote. Tyvus, you weren't here yesterday, so what do you think about Tomlin calling out Andrew Berry? And then 2, Bull, you talked about you want a coach that's going to inspire, light guys up, have a little fire. Yeah. Do you think, knowing how Jimmy Haslam acted and has acted in the past, and who said this specific comment, will get a response now from the Browns?
I honestly, when I seen it, I laughed because it's so funny that everybody always says the same thing about Kevin and AB. It's, they think they're the smartest people in the room. And so clearly he was taking that shot at him, and it was funny just to see that. But I just thought it was kind of funny that Kevin didn't. That's his boy. That's like somebody coming up to me and saying something crazy about G. Bush, and I'm like, you think I ain't gonna say nothing? Hey, chill out. What you talking about? It's one of those type things.
Or he is kind of crazy. He be doing too much.
But that's crazy that this just feeds the narrative of that. This is exactly what you're talking about. You're talking about that you need somebody that'll go at somebody that's all that. And Kevin just comes off as passive. And
he comes off like a wimp.
Don't get me. So this is the thing. I don't know Kevin. I've never been in the locker room with Kevin, so I understand why it comes off that way. And it might be what it is. The only way you can figure those type of things out is this. This is how you know if players should have a fear of their coach. I feel like. Why? Because, for example, we've been talking about pre-snap penalties for years.
Right.
If they feared their coach and he made an emphasis to get rid of pre-snap penalties, they would at least go down a little bit.
Tell him that Urban Meyer, he talked to you for how many years, Tyvus?
Urban ain't talked to me for a whole year.
Doesn't it have to be a balance, though? You don't want,
even when I said hi, he didn't say nothing.
Don't you want to have some fear? Not 100% fear,
oh, no,
right?
No. You need a healthy fear.
See, when you go into a new place, you got to lay the law down.
Yeah.
Because if you go in there and be buddy, see, people think they can take advantage of that. It's like, this is my guy. I'm going to try. He'll be cool if I do this. And that. No. You got to. I ain't gonna do it because I might be cut. That type of fear need to come up upon people when that's on rosters. But Mike T, I don't think he got that going on. If he make an emphasis or something, I think that they
still hit on Friday, Bull. They still got pads on Friday, my G.
Yeah. They hit on Friday?
They got pads on Fridays.
Man, I don't even think you could do. You only get 12 pads.
And when you're a free agent and you pull up and you know what you're signing up for. It's different. There's a reason why they was putting them pads on them.
You better get your mind right.
Also, Mike Tomlin cannot wrap his head around winning not being the priority.
No matter who you got.
Because he's been there 2 decades. It's never not been the priority. It's always the priority to win in Pittsburgh.
See, the problem is we've had this thing where let's just be terrible for 2 years.
It's happened so many times.
And right now we living in that because at the end of the day, you can't do nothing until Deshaun's off the books. That's just what it is.
Wait, but you know what? I don't completely buy that.
Why don't you?
Why. Obviously, it's a big factor.
You can't do nothing.
But you know what?
What can you do?
The Russell Wilson contract was terrible for Denver.
And they paid him.
And they were a playoff team last year.
Sure was.
Is he still on the books?
Yes. This is the last year.
Day
cap comes off after this
year. They hit on Bo Nix.
Obviously, it makes it challenging.
They hit on Bo Nix.
Well, let me ask you this, Tyvus.
But at the end of the day, they hit on Bo Nix. They already had Cortland Sutton. and they just got the running back situation. So like it wasn't terrible.
It was nasty work.
I
You
mean,
got a rookie quarterback.
When they
They
traded,
gave us Judy.
we had Nick Chubb.
Fleeced us.
We had Nick Chubb.
What we give up for Judy?
A 5th and a 6th.
Oh, okay. No, that ain't
We
no
had Nick
fleece.
Chubb. Right now we got Quinshon Judkins. Like I get it. The Browns don't have a lot of talent on the offense.
Let me stop you.
But the Broncos didn't have that. Who did the Broncos have at running back? They had nobody.
Let me stop.
Yeah.
Let me
They
stop.
got, whoa. They got J.K. Dobbins.
Well, now they do. They didn't at the time. When
No, they
got
had
rid of
They
Russell.
had
Williams.
Javonte Williams, who
But he was
always hurt.
terrible there. He's been great in Dallas.
He's second
so
in the
far.
league in rushing right now.
I agree, but he was terrible in Denver after he got hurt.
So this is why you can't look at stuff in a vacuum. Don't look at it. You got to look at the totality. This is 6 years. Let me tell you what Kevin Stefanski had. Let me tell you what he had. Prime Wyatt Teller. Prime Joe Batonio. Prime, what's the center's name?
Poach it.
Before him too. Treader, J.C. Treader.
Oh yeah, forgot
Alex
about
Mack?
JC. Yeah.
Alex Mack.
Well, that was
before.
Kevin Stefanski didn't
He
have
didn't have him, but he had them three.
Yeah.
He had prime Nick Chubb, prime Kareem Hunt, Odell Beckham Jr.
Not prime Odell.
But it was Odell.
They had.
Jarvis
he left
Landry.
here and was about to win MVP of the Super Bowl.
Jarvis Landry.
who was prime in the beginning of
Yes.
his time here.
Myles Garrett.
Prime.
Denzel Ward.
Prime.
What are we talking about?
J.O.K.
J.O.K.
J.O.K. This man in 1 year had, listen, Dearness Johnson was nice. He had ball players, and guess what? His offense wasn't even crazy back then. We were still arguing about the same things we do today. Nick Chubb got 110 yards on 12 carries, and you get to the goal line and you don't give him the ball. He's still doing that with Quinshon Judkins. He's still doing. It's different players, same results. I need to refute. Please put
And
it.
by the way, like to say that you can't survive. You see, to be able to make it even with this terrible contract, if you were drafted better in the last few years, they wouldn't be so bad. You could. What if you had
Tristan Wirfs.
What if you had Tristan Wirfs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and we'll see about Jackson Dart, but I'll say Jackson Dart. Feeling a lot differently about this team
Feeling
right
a
now.
bunch different, right?
Yeah.
If you just don't swing and miss on 85 defensive tackles before you get to Mason Graham, maybe you'll be okay.
You drafted an offensive lineman in the second round. The Browns have the worst offensive line in the league.
Ooh.
Your boy Zach Zinner.
Third round.
Third round.
Can't
Your
even
boy
dress.
can't even be active on game day.
Ain't that sad?
Where's the dude?
And they have the worst offensive line in
Tevin
the league.
Jenkins.
He finally played this
He
week.
finally played.
Finally played. They put him at tackle.
And you keep by again. He was a swing guy.
Yeah.
The thing about this is, it's not if you do it 1 year, you can squint and say, oh, this year it was the Deshaun thing. Okay, cool. Oh, it was the offensive line was hurt. Okay, cool. It was the fact that we've been rotating quarterbacks up. Okay, cool. But if you look at the totality of it, it's not a good job overall. And if he was better at doing his regular job, like the other Kevin O'Connell lost. He moved on from Sam Darnold.
Who had his best season of his career.
In his life. Then they didn't sign him. They brought J.J. McCarthy back in. He get hurt again. So now you got to give me Carson Wentz.
Made him look serviceable.
Aaron Jones is they starting running back. He's out. Give me another dude, and I'm going to figure out on a run. And he's still figuring it out. And you talking about what Kevin ain't got, and the quarterback is in 20. Come on,
Don't forget the Vikings that were down 4 offensive linemen last
Four
week.
offensive linemen. Come on.
G, real quick, just to bring this back to where we started. Tyvis said if someone said something about you, he wouldn't respond, no comment. Knowing how Jimmy acts in certain situations, knowing how much Jimmy respects Mike Tomlin, if you were in Kevin Stefanski's shoes, would you have fired back in some capacity? Or
No.
at least responded, or did he take the high road
No.
and the right road?
No, because he got smacked with the burner on Sunday. He got beat up.
Yeah.
His team got mollywopped. His time to fight back, or first of all, he shouldn't need Mike Tomlin to say anything to have a level of vitriol against the Steelers because it's the Steelers.
Yeah.
He shouldn't need that work. His work and how he talk is how your team play on the field. And another Cleveland Browns team went into Pittsburgh and got physically manhandled, dominated, and a bunch of people's in the training room. So what is he going to say? He can't say nothing to Mike Tomlin. You shut your mouth. Don't you say anything about us. He was like, we saw you last week. You didn't do nothing about it.
The conspiracy theory is that Tomlin was saying this to kind of help Kevin Stefanski, which I don't believe.
Stop, boo. You shut that down. You shut that down.
I don't buy that.
Yeah, you shut that down,
and
too.
You know what? Even though it's kind of a no-win situation, if I was Kevin Stefanski, and Andrew Berry's my guy, and we're tight, and he's my pal, and we do this together, I would have said something, 100%. I know everybody would have made fun of him, and like, I don't know what you're going to say. I don't have the perfect words right now. All I know is if you crap on my friend, I'm going to have my friend's back.
Hey, listen, I see people all the time. They be like, Bull is crazy. I'm like, yeah, he's
crazy.
He's my kind of crazy. We gotta, he's always welcome. Listen, everybody I be working. I got your back. I mess with you heavy. But the problem I got, McNuggets, is what does this say? You know this. In the coaching profession, McNuggets, what does it say? This is wild to me because it's two brothers too. It's Mike Tomlin, and you know how hard it is to get a job as a brother in the league. Mike Tomlin called out another person that one day might be in charge of whether Mike Tomlin get a job. He's a general manager. What if he becomes a general manager somewhere and Mike Tomlin get let go? They got a thing. You never talk bad about no other coach or GM on camera. That ain't what we doing. The fact that he was comfortable but was saying that, what does that say to you, McNuggets?
Let me ask you.
I just say I've never been more proud of myself or UG for you addressing me with that question when Tyvis is sitting right next to you.
I just want to go ahead. I was just setting you up.
But that's the thing. Everybody around the league see what's going on, right? Would you hire Andrew Berry as your general manager?
No.
So this
he's not getting another GM.
If anything, he could handle finances or something, because
he capologist.
He cool with the cap.
He gonna go to Sashi Brown, right?
You talking about
right.
You want him to build your roster?
No, that's a fair point.
Are
Nobody's
you
hiring
serious?
him. He ain't getting another GM job.
Yeah, I don't like to do this black on black crowd, but my goodness,
He's out,
bro. Yeah, this is it.